Good evening. Today is Tuesday, September 13th, and a meeting of the Salem-Keizer School Board is called to order. This is a regular business session with a full agenda. We are going to try something a little new tonight, and so when we have action items, we are asking that each board member has 2 opportunities to speak for 2 minutes each time, so for a total of 4 minutes, and we will go round robin through the board twice, and this will include our student advisors. This should help us move along and be efficient with our meeting, and our work sessions will be the time where we really have more discussion and really work through and flesh out our ideas and thoughts together. We apologize for the late start. We had a little bit of technical difficulties getting some of our interpretation working, and so that's why we're starting just a little bit late. I'll take attendance now. I believe all directors are in attendance. We do have Director Hyen on remotely via Zoom, and we also have our student advisor, Raylan Brennan, via Zoom, and everyone else is present here in the boardroom. We'll move now to our diverse welcome message, and Director Chandragiri would like to read it this evening.
Thank you, Chair. Buenas tardes, good afternoon. Welcome bienvenidos to the Salem-Keizer School Board meeting. At all times, whether we meet in person or virtual, as we are tonight, we strive to be inclusive, respectful, and welcoming to our students, staff, educators, administrators, board members, and all community members. We welcome everyone, people of all genders, people of African descent, Black, African American, Asian descent, Arab descent, European descent, those who identify as Hispanic, Latinx, people indigenous to this land, and people of mixed and multiple descents. Languages spoken in our communities are welcome. Spanish, English, indigenous languages, sign languages, Chuukese, Somali, Russian, Chinese, Vietnamese, and many more. People with disabilities, visible or invisible. People of all religions, believers in all faiths or creeds. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, heterosexual, pansexual, transgender, queer, two-spirits, and others for whom none of the labels fit. Survivors, your emotions, joy, bliss, grief, rage, indignation, contentment, and disappointment. Your families, genetic and otherwise. Our veterans who proudly served and are currently serving our country. Our elders, those here in the room, in our lives, and those who have passed away. People impacted or displaced by war in Ukraine and other violent conflicts. Yes. And finally, we would like to welcome the ancestors who lived in this land where we live and work. Welcome the spirits of the Santiam, Kalapuya, Siletz, and Grand Ron, the natives who lived in this area before the Europeans came. Welcome bienvenidos. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Chandragiri. And now would everyone please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I do not believe there are any agenda modifications this evening. And so we'll move on to number 2, Spotlight on Success. And I'm turning this over to Superintendent Perry.
All right, good evening, Chair Carson Cottingham, members of the board. Tonight, we have 3 spotlights, and our first spotlight is a Salem-Keizer School District Department spotlight. And so Cindy Darden, our Director of Technology and Information Services, I don't know if you've met her, she was in the boardroom earlier today. Cindy, thanks for your support in getting us all set up and ready to go tonight. And I will turn it over to you to do your department spotlight. I'm sorry, we don't have sound. And you're unmuted on your screen. We're working on it, Cindy, on our end. Sometimes there's greater technological difficulties than other times. All right, do you want to try again, Cindy? Do a test? Nope. It's once we started the meeting, something switched. And if it's helpful at some point, I can move to the superintendent's report and halt the spotlights for a few minutes. Oh. Raylyn, can you do a test of your microphone right now?
Yeah.
All right, Raylyn's on. Cindy has left, so let's go on to the next spotlight. Oh, there she is. Okay, try it again, Cindy. It might be you. Yep. Okay, I think it's you, Cindy. So I'm going to go on to the next spotlight and see if we can get the next spotlight started. The next spotlight is a program spotlight, and Suzanne West, our Director of Strategic Initiatives, is doing the program spotlight.
Good evening. Good evening, Chair Carson Cottingham, board members, and Superintendent Perry. It's a pleasure to be with you here tonight, and I'm accompanied by Jumpstart Kindergarten Program Leader, Stephanie Wynn, who is online at the moment. So Stephanie, if you're willing to show us your face, turn on your camera. Excellent, thank you. The program that we're highlighting is Jumpstart Kindergarten. We commonly refer to that as JSK in our district. We like acronyms. This past summer, as a result of the summer grants offered by the Oregon Department of Education, students from 33 elementary schools participated in a week-long Jumpstart Kindergarten. New this year, students were able to participate in Jumpstart Kindergarten even if the student's resident school was not offering JSK. Stephanie, who you see on camera there, was instrumental in ensuring that students who were unable to participate in their local school for a variety of reasons were able to register at the nearest school that did offer JSK, worked with our site leads, our teachers, and they collaborated to make sure that students were able to participate in this early learning opportunity. JSK allows students and families to meet their teachers, to meet support professionals, our instructional assistants and others who work in our school environments, to meet administrators, to learn and practice school routines and procedures, to practice riding the bus, and they even learn how to do things like get their breakfast tray and their lunch tray and sit and have lunch before going outside to play. These seem like really basic skills, but to a kindergartner, they're all brand new. So this week-long session is really important to give our kindergarten students some advanced instruction before school actually starts. With the aid of many people involved in JSK, school teams were able to provide resources to students and the support that they needed to ensure that students not only learned and practiced doing school, but also that staff had an opportunity to meet their new students and assess students' strengths and the assets that they are bringing into our classrooms even today. JSK would not be possible without the collaboration of many departments, including just a few: curriculum and instruction, purchasing, student services, nutrition services, transportation, nursing, and many, many more. A successful summer program is an undertaking of the whole organization, and it is only through the commitment of hundreds of people that logistics are resolved and student needs are met. Stephanie, as you see there on the screen, was really instrumental in orchestrating all of these different departments in collaboration to make sure that we met the needs of students. So Stephanie, thank you, and thank you to everyone who supported Jumpstart Kindergarten this year. Your efforts contributed to a successful summer program and a strong start to the school year for hundreds of kinder students. Stephanie, if you'd like to unmute and add anything, please do so at this time.
Stephanie, we're having technical difficulties. It's not you, it's us. Okay, let me say something about Stephanie. Stephanie is an amazingly organized leader for us and keeps so many balls in the air, and never was more evident during summer school this year. So thank you, Stephanie. All right, I don't understand the technical difficulties, but I'm going to go on to what the third spotlight. Raylyn, can you hear okay?
Yeah, I earlier had a continuous feedback loop, which is why I took my headphones off, but it's good now.
Yeah. And could you hear Stephanie when she was speaking?
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah. And Marty, you can hear okay, but you, both the people on the screen and in the boardroom.
Yeah, and I can hear Stephanie. The only issue I had was during the first spotlight, there was a feedback loop that went on for quite a while. But Stephanie came through clear for Zoom people, or at least for me.
So I'll do the third spotlight, and then I think we could have Cindy do her spotlight. And we might not be able to hear it, but everyone else who's listening could. And I think that would be a great way to do it. And then we'll get the spotlight in writing so you can see it. All right, so the third spotlight, I'm highlighting two very special spotlights tonight, and for two of our local community-based organizations. And I'm hopeful that, well, there's Jody from the United Way, and there's Jacob Espinoza from the Chamber, and Tom and Rhonda Wolf. So thank you for joining us tonight, and apologize it's taken a few extra minutes to get us going tonight. So we're super thrilled with our partnership with both the Chamber and the United Way, and because of them, we're bringing back two of our major signature events this year. So in 2023, the Salem Chamber will officially host the 24th annual Crystal Apple Awards. And I think we have a date set. It's like a Friday in February. I don't have it in my notes, but super awesome. The Chamber's just been such an incredible partner in that. And the United Way will welcome thousands of students to the starting line of the awesome 3,000. So huge appreciation to both groups. Both events were previously led by the Salem-Keizer Education Foundation. And with the pandemic and the closing of the doors of the foundation, we believe it's fully time to bring back these events. We're in partnership with our community partners. We're doing our part, they're doing their part, but we know what it takes, and it takes more than just us. So the Salem Chamber is taking the reins of the Crystal Apple Awards, and I know our educators, students, families, colleagues, and community members will be able to see the daily positive impact of education in our community, and they're going to be just as excited as I am to celebrate our educators who inspire our students every day. Be sure to mark your calendars. They did give me the date, February 10th, 2023, as we celebrate excellence in education. We'll be opening nominations somewhere around the beginning of October, and the committee is working quite quickly to try to put all the pieces together. And it's such a celebration, and it's so needed. So Tom and Jacob, thank you for being the leaders that would step up and do this on behalf of our educators and staff across the district. So, and after 2 years of hiatus, the United Way of the Mid-Willamette Valley is relaunching the Awesome 3000, bringing our community together for a day of activities, including the fun run to support educational programs in our community. I know they're going to be working to select a date, so we don't have the date yet, but we have been talking about both of these events for what feels like years to me. Maybe it was only months, but bringing them back and bringing back a healthy activity for our kids to get out and run, it will be a highlight for our kids and really a tribute to how we celebrate physical health with our kids. So thank you so much to both the Salem Chamber and the United Way for being partners with us as we navigated the best home for both of these events. And I would let you say something, but I'm not convinced the audio will work, so we wouldn't hear you, although Director Hyen and Student Advisor Brennan would. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and thank you for your support of our kids and our educators.
Thank you so much. I know my two boys are really excited about the Awesome 3000 coming back.
All right, and if Cindy Darden is on, if you could go ahead and give your spotlight, and we will wait to hear it by either rewatching this portion of the meeting or reading it. So, thank you, Cindy. Huge appreciations to our technology team. We got to hear you because we were listening to the Zoom link. So if I will tell you, I appreciate you every day for all that you do to keep the district operational. We know the pressure you're under, and we know how you show up for our kids, and it really matters. So thank you.
Thank you so much from the board, too. Okay. Do we want to give the other person that was going to speak for the second spotlight an opportunity to do the same thing, Superintendent?
I think, well, Suzanne gave it, so I think Stephanie's probably already exited out of the meeting, so I think we're okay.
Okay. If Stephanie comes back and wants to do her thing, we can go back to hearing her. Okay. Next up is number 3, reports and presentations, starting with our superintendent's report. Superintendent Perry.
All right, so good evening once again. Just as a kind of heads up to this, and it won't matter for the people that are online because your Zoom link will take care of this for you, but we're going to do a certain section of the superintendent's report on our dual language expansion in Spanish, and Director Avila has graciously offered to do that part of the report for us. So if you could go ahead and pull up the slides, and I'll go ahead and get started on my section. All right, so last week we welcomed back over 37,400 students in grades 1 through 12, and I just want you to see their smiling faces for a minute. Tomorrow we begin 2,600 kindergarten students. Our enrollment's about 39,932, which is about, it doesn't include our preschoolers. And we have about 500 preschoolers showing up. And then this is roughly about 700 more students than at this point in time last year. It always starts out a little bit high and it always goes down a little bit, but I think this is really good news for our enrollment. One of the highlights I'll tell you about is that, and you can go ahead and go to the next slide as well, thank you, is that one of the things that you would see across the district is that go back to the kids' smiling faces. There we go. Like, we have to see the kids' smiling faces. There we go. Yeah. One of the things we really focused on is school-wide expectations. And we saw that everywhere we went, and it was an important requirement that our students did or our principals did with staff when they came back, and also then with students. So I was even watching a little social media coming out of Claggett Creek today, talking about how they are still, and this is week 2, really focusing on those school-wide expectations and really making sure we have the structure in the environment so that then kids can really learn and thrive. So that's what we've been working on. Again, we're about at 39,700 kids in that first couple weeks of school. I'm going to go back just a minute, though, to summer learning because we have some really good and important data that came out of summer learning. And I'm going to focus on the elementary level because our goal was to accelerate learning for students most impacted by unfinished learning, so our current second and third graders. We were also focused on increasing teacher efficacy by implementing differentiated Tier 1 small group reading, skill-focused professional development, and support. So our teachers, in regular language, our teachers were learning some instructional strategies while our students were learning and working on fluency and I think accuracy. So our goal was in a very short time period to really increase reading skills for those second and third graders, which our data told us from last year were still most impacted by the pandemic because they had the most time in those early grades out of school. So just a quick little data snap. This is second grade English, which is one of our KPIs. We think it's really important to monitor second grade English. We did words per minute, so fluency and accuracy. And in this very short amount of time, given very direct instruction in in accuracy and fluency, you can see the results. It was like 13 days, I think, of instruction. And in reading, they increased about 13 words per minute and grew to about 18 words per minute. And then the other skill we measured was accuracy, which is the ability to correctly decode words. In this measure, second grade students grew from about 33% accuracy to 71% accuracy in reading, almost a 40% growth in a very short amount of time. So it's such a good reminder of really that intensive direct Tier 1 instruction, the instruction all kids get. can really make a difference in reading. So our teachers used our Easy CBM assessment so they could be sure to assess, and same assessment we used during the school year. And again, we purposefully targeted that group of kids because they missed the most of the early reading skills in the pandemic. So the second set I'm going to show you to really highlight our super, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on my words tonight, but our intentionality around bilingualism. This is our second grade bilingual scores. So the words per minute grew from 11 to 18 words per minute, and their accuracy grew from 65% to 84%. And remember, for our bilingual learners, we want them to have that really strong Spanish language as they transition to English in the older grades. So this shows, again, what that direct instruction really helps with our kids. And again, these are our kids that were most impacted by the pandemic. We have the other data for other grades, but thought this was an important one to highlight tonight. All right, with that, I'm going to switch to Hispanic Heritage Month and the Welcoming Week. You have a resolution tonight you'll be passing, but I thought it might be great if you could just see a video from our migrant summer school to show the work that we did around culture and inclusion for our migrant students. So with that, I'll let you start the video. We gotta hope we can hear it.
They learn about the states, they learn about the lifestyles, and it's just that.
Oh gosh. I think I was right here.
Travels and oftentimes goes from district to district or from state to state. We come up with a mascot, the monarch butterfly. Butterfly for many reasons. One of the reasons being that it migrates, and this is the population that we serve. We serve students who move around a lot. The summer program is very important because it really reinforces the skills that are taught during the regular academic school year, which again, our population oftentimes has that educational gap because of the moves, because of migration. We have teachers who come from native states of many of the population that we serve who talk about culture, the children's heritage, in an effort to promote positive self-image within our population. This is an opportunity where students from all over the district come and meet students who have similar lifestyles, similar backgrounds as their own.
Okay, we're going to take a quick recess. We are having a lot of technical problems tonight. It's our first night back in our old location. So let's take a 10-minute recess and see if we can work out some of our problems on this end. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. And thanks for everyone that's trying to work this out.
We just watched the video twice. It's fine. We got did our beatings.
The Migrant Education Program strives on honoring the uniqueness, the culture, and the language of students that we serve and their families. A migrant student is a student who travels and oftentimes goes from district to district or from state to state. We come up with a mascot, the monarch butterfly, and the monarch butterfly for many reasons. One of the reasons being that it migrates, and this is a
Testing, testing. Yep.
population that we serve. We serve students who move around a lot. The summer program is very important because it really reinforces the skills that are taught during the regular academic school year, which again, our population oftentimes has that educational gap because of the moves, because of migration. We have teachers who come from native states of many of the population that we serve who talk about culture, the children's heritage, in an effort to promote positive self-image within our population. This is an opportunity where students from all over the district come and meet students who have similar lifestyles, similar backgrounds as their own.
My favorite part of the program is when you get to do like a dance or a performance at the end of the year. I just think dancing is really nice and knowing about more of your culture and all that.
Test 1, 2.
Yes.
That's 1, 2.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can anyone hear me in the boardroom? From there? Okay. Thank you. I don't know if I fix it. Cindy, can you please try?
Yes, I can hear you, Aaron.
You're getting feedback.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
56 p.m. And we are in the middle still of our superintendent's report. And so I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent Perry.
All right. Again, welcome back. So I want to highlight that it is Suicide Prevention Month. And we have a number of things we're continuing to move forward around suicide prevention in our school district. So if you could go on to the next slide. As a reminder, we have this flyer on our website in English and Spanish. I'm waiting for turn the volume down on that. So we have this flyer in English and Spanish on our website, and we want to be sure that this gets out in our community, so feel free to download it and also share it on your social media platforms. As far as suicide prevention, we're still continuing to educate staff and families. I think, as you know, we do QPR training, question, persuade, respond, for all staff, but we are also adding it for new staff. We have a couple options for training for parents. September 10th at Saturday at Hammond, we have what's called small talk trainings geared towards elementary age families. On the 10th at Hammond and the 24th at Keizer. And this training is in collaboration with the Mid-Valley Suicide Prevention Coalition. We certainly could not do this work without our community partners. Then we're having a QPR Plus training at Stevens Middle School on September 17th from 9 to 11 a.m. And we're also waiting back to hear back from Straub, who is also going to do another training. All of our elementary school counselors, we've added Sources of Strength training. It's a curriculum around suicide prevention, and we're working with Matchstick Consulting, who've received a grant from Oregon Health Authority for a 5-year implementation. In addition, we're doing some training of our social workers and counselors around applied suicide intervention skills training, so they're getting more in-depth training around intervention. And we're also participating with Willamette Health Council and a nonprofit up in Portland for training with our counselors. And then just a highlight, we have to have tons of community partners. It's not about just what we can do, but it's what all of us can do. So the Mid-Valley Suicide Prevention, Lions for Life, Portland DBA, Assist, and also Salem Health has been instrumental in helping this work move forward. So it's a great time to remind ourselves that we do have kids and family members in our community at risk of suicide, and to please stop, question, persuade, and respond if you're really in worry about somebody's health and the chance that they might take their life. It's an important effort among every person in our community because it takes all of us to save a life. All right, with that, if we could switch, if you're need a headphone, to our dual language expansion. And Director Avila, I'm going to hand it over to you, and I think you're going to have to, I don't know if you have the English slides, which is great to have up, but help him. Okay. He'll be presenting in Spanish. All right, so I'll let you take it from here. Okay.
Buenas tardes todos. So hoy queremos darles una actuación acerca de la implementación y expansión del programa dual. So next slide, please. Durante el verano, el distrito hizo un plan riguroso de entrenamiento para el personal involucrado en el programa. Comenzaron con la siembra, y como la palabra dice, es la oportunidad para las... ¿Me escuchan? No. Ok, sí, escúchame. Disculpa que tenemos problemas aquí. So, empezamos de nuevo. Con la siembra, y como palabra lo dice, es la oportunidad para sembrar las semillas. Las semillas son los pilares del programa, la investigación y las prácticas que necesitan implementar a los salones de educación bilingüe. Los equipos de educadores también tuvieron la oportunidad de revisar los informes escolares que recibieron de nuestros consultores de Dual Lenguaje Nuevo México para reflexionar en las fortalezas de la escuela y planear el desarrollo profesional que se necesita. Para la siembra, reunimos a todos los maestros de las escuelas nuevas, Washington, Chávez, Keizer y Four Corners. Estas son las fotos de la siembra. Los educadores se reunieron en una de las escuelas en Keizer Civic Center. Tuvimos cerca de 160 participantes. En agosto, el distrito organizó un instituto de aprendizaje para el programa. En esta ocasión, invitamos a todos los maestros bilingües de todas las escuelas, desde el kinder hasta los salones de high school. El enfoque de los 3 días fue alineación de las prácticas bilingües, planear en equipos y colaborar entre los niveles. En agosto, tuvimos aproximadamente 240 maestros, asistentes, mentores y directores. Los maestros dieron su opinión acerca del entrenamiento y compartieron que les encanta la idea de que todos los maestros que hablan inglés y los que hablan español, los maestros del lenguaje. Este programa une a las comunidades de estudiantes y de profesionales. En esta lista se puede ver las nuevas escuelas que están implementando el programa este año. En esta lista pueden ver las escuelas que están planeando para implementar el programa el próximo año. Como miembro de la Junta, me he mantenido al tanto del trabajo de la implementación por medio del Comité del Consejo del Programa. Recibimos actualizaciones cada 3 meses. La directora Guzmán Ortiz, la directora Enojos Presi también asisten en este comité. I'll pass it back to you, Superintendent Perry.
Thank you so much, and thank you for doing that for our Spanish-speaking community. With that, that ends the superintendent's report, and I'm going to turn it over to Chair Carson Cottingham for the next section on the agenda.
Great, thank you. So next up, I'm going to do a quick update on our superintendent search. We are very excited that we are going to have interviews coming up one-on-one with each of the directors on the board. We are planning for those and getting on everyone's schedules for October 3rd and 4th. And then we believe we will be able to hold a work session and a planning meeting with the full board on the 4th. We were looking at both the 4th and 5th, and I think we've settled on the 4th at this point. There'll be more information forthcoming. At that meeting, we'll look at determining the process that we'll use, the approval of the timeline for the search. And so please make sure you bring your calendars with you, all directors, so that we can really pencil out all of the critical dates leading up to hiring the new superintendent. There's going to be lots of opportunity to talk and think and discuss together about the options for the search. The tentative timeline here is on this slide. Anticipated vacancy opening date for December, interviews January and February, and selection by likely end of February. We want to move on an aggressive timeline, and so we're going to try to do our best. The next slide. So the interviews and the work that we will be doing is with Human Capital Enterprises. As you remember, they were one of the firms that applied and we interviewed, and then 2 firms, we did our background reference checks, and we're very excited to have selected Human Capital Enterprises. We think they're going to be a great fit for this search, and so that team consists of Hank Harris, Kathleen Rodden-Nord, and Jay Rallian. And that's really the update for tonight. So more info forthcoming about that October 4th full meeting, and our one-on-ones will occur with Human Capital Enterprises on the 3rd and 4th. Thank you. All right, we're going to now move on to item number 4 on our agenda, public comment. We have offered the opportunity for the public to provide Zoom comment, phone-in comment, and written comment, and the speakers have been selected at random. I believe we have approximately 17 people signed up to speak tonight. We are going to plan to hear from all of them, even if we have to go a little bit over our allotted time. Each caller has 3 minutes. We do have the electronic mechanisms for translation. And so we're not currently doing an additional 3 minutes for translation. We will have a countdown timer on the screen so that everyone will know how much time is left for their comment. The timer counts down from 3 minutes. At 30 seconds, it turns from green to yellow, and at 1 second, it turns red and plays a short bell to signal that time is up. Please do be mindful of your pace for the interpreters. And as another little reminder, all board members receive the written comment, which is also posted to the website. So at this point, I will turn it over to Emily and Jordan. They have our list and call up the first person to provide comment. Thank you.
Our first caller tonight is Tyler. Tyler, are you able to unmute?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening, board chairs, directors, and superintendent. I am Tyler Skella-Lakeberg, and speaking as the president of the Salem-Keizer Education Association on behalf of our licensed members. We are excited to have started the 22-23 school year. This past couple of years have been some of the most difficult times in education. We are hopeful as we start out without masks, quarantine protocols, fewer unfilled positions, and more available substitutes. We are also grateful for the progress and collaboration with the district leaders. Last year, we were able to work together for more educator-directed time, retention bonuses, and increased COLAs. While we have much more to do, these are all steps in the right direction. I also want to applaud the many people who have passionately and bravely shared their testimonies at school board meetings. I want to challenge the many groups who have spoken to also listen more. We all have a similar goal, which is better schools for our students. And while we might have some differences of opinion on how to get there, we will not accomplish our goals if we do not learn how to listen to each other and work together. I have said many times we cannot fix all the problems of public education in the entire nation, but we can rewrite the narrative for Salem-Keizer schools. This year will be a contract bargaining year for SCIA. Our goal is that Salem-Keizer will be able to attract and keep the best educators for our students. This means we need to reprioritize some of our goals and spending as a district. The district also needs to actively solicit direct feedback from educators. We need more educator-directed time to better prepare for students and smaller class sizes and caseloads to set up educators for success. We are hopeful that by addressing the needs of our educators, we will rewrite the narrative for Salem-Keizer schools. We are hopeful that at this time next year, we can look back with fewer resignations and will be overwhelmed with the quality of applicants wanting to be part of this district. We are hopeful that our educators will have a sense of belonging and respect for the professionals they are. We are hopeful that our community will come together in support and partnership of our schools. We believe that working together is the key for us to help create better schools for our students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Next person.
Our next caller is Angelique. Angelique, are you able to unmute? *6 to unmute. If not, we can move on to Ross.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Angelique.
Okay. Hello, my name is Angelique. My pronouns are they, them, and I'll not be saying any more information about myself due to the fact that there are white supremacists on the school board and watching this meeting. I just want to say that this is my own experience and I'm allowed to criticize elected officials, so please do not interrupt my public testimony like last time. In the summer of 2021, I participated in a community event against a policy that the school board was trying to pass. This policy was directly targeting us as BIPOC youth organizers, as we would take up space in the parking lot after the school board meetings, and the school board wanted to stop that. I posed for a picture holding a sign that read, "Daniel Bethel, white supremacist. Daniel Bethel has a KKK hood in her closet." I did this because she had previously made statements about how she felt uncomfortable being in an event with BIPOC community members, and also because BIPOC youth were being specifically targeted in our organizing. Afterwards, I sent Danielle this exact photograph with a message that said, "Stop supporting motions to silence BIPOC in the community." She sent me a few messages ending off with, "Have a nice night," and I thought that was the end of it. In May 2022, almost an entire year later, I saw this exact exchange being featured in an alt-right article about us, BIPOC youth organizers. The authors, who are all grown adults, are obsessed with our organizing and do anything to defame us or otherwise discourage us from being active in our own communities. I was shocked and scared the morning that I saw this, not only for my own safety, but for my family's safety and for my peers' safety as well. I decided not to talk about it publicly then, mainly because I was scared about what these people could do to me. However, their malicious efforts to destabilize us has increased, and they should continue to discuss us, BIPOC youth, publicly. I'm concerned about the implications of this whole situation. When I first sent Danielle Bethel that picture, it had not even been a year since I graduated high school, and I was freshly a college student. She didn't even know my age unless she had been researching my personal information at the time, and for all she knew, I could have been a high school student. Her job is supposed to be about making schools better for BIPOC youth, yet many don't even feel comfortable expressing their concerns about schools because of the board members' affiliations with alt-right groups. This is why I call Danielle Bethel, school board member and current Marion County Commissioner, a white supremacist. She is knowingly and willingly putting BIPOC youth in extreme danger and is upset that we're finally talking about it. She is actively conspiring with these alt-right groups who have taken pictures of minors in the past. After I talked about this at the last meeting, there were various grown adults of these alt-right groups speculating online about my real age, if I'm actually a student, and other personal details. This is completely inappropriate, weird, and disgusting. Why else would they want my personal information if not to inflict some kind of harm? These groups have obtained this information from Danielle Bethel. Danielle Bethel is a current school board member and Marion County Commissioner, and she's a white supremacist who is organizing with other white supremacists in the city. This is a fact. If you guys want to make school board meetings safer for us, look at your own peers first. Look at who on this board is encouraging this behavior from alt-right groups. Stop insinuating that we play any part in what is happening when we have been coming here for years and nothing happened until your fellow board members started working with alt-right individuals in the city.
Your time has expired.
Danielle Bethel is a white supremacist.
Your time has expired, Angelique. Thank you. Next up is Ross. Is Ross on the line? I'd like to remind folks to talk slowly for our interpreters, both our ASL and the interpreters of different languages.
Ross is having some trouble connecting his microphone, so we have reached out to him, but our next caller is Belle.
Belle, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Belle, and I will not be saying any more information about myself due to the fact that there are white supremacists on the school board and at this meeting. Last year, my school went from having 2 security guards to 6 to 8 security guards within 6 months. Right now, we have less, but I think this is temporary in order to make the school district look better. I feel like throughout the year, they will probably add more security guards just like they did last year. The security guards look different this year. They wear blue hats and blue shirts, but this makes me feel like it is just a tactic to make us used to seeing blue uniforms such as the police. Even if the security guards have different uniforms or brown skin, it doesn't make me feel safer. The money from the SROs needs to be invested back into the students. We need permanent funding for these programs, not just emergency funds. I feel like we need more mental health specialists and resources to help kids like me who are very stressed at school. I transitioned from middle school to high school during COVID, and the switch was even more difficult than usual because I already struggled with doing homework, and now my homework is much harder and nobody helps me with the subjects I didn't learn during COVID. This caused me to skip school a lot last year because I didn't feel like I was being supported and I wasn't learning anything in class. I also have a lot of other bad things happening outside in my life, outside of school, and I feel like I need a mental health specialist that will understand these struggles and advocate for me. For example, when I asked to get extra help with school and an IEP, they told me that I could only get help if I was diagnosed with a learning disability, but I couldn't get diagnosed outside of school because my teachers wouldn't support me. I think having a mental health specialist inside schools can make this a lot easier. But instead, a lot of teachers and people at my school just think that I'm not putting in my full effort or that I'm just not a good student. I will be a better student, and so will my peers if we had the resources that we need, like someone to talk to or someone to explain my homework in a way that makes sense. I feel like at school, if you start falling through the cracks, there's no way to get out. I'm trying better this year, such as retaking some of my classes, but it is very difficult because they are still not explaining things that I never learned. There is judgment for having to retake classes, and I feel like I need one-on-one support, which I can't get through counselors because they're always busy, so there's no resources for me. I'm really grateful for community programs at places like Luce, such as free tutoring, because I feel like I would be more behind without them. But at the same time, I still think I should have to seek community services to help me. I think they should be available at my school since I'm there for 8 hours a day. I want to say that this is my experience at school, and I know that this is the same experience for a lot of other kids at my school, and they are also falling in the cracks with nothing to help them out. I think we should all have the resources to help us do well, especially for us BIPOC and low-income students. Our parents don't know the material that we learn at school, and some of us don't have the time to help us.
Thank you, Belle. Thank you for sharing. Is Ross?
We will
ready?
try to go to Ross now. It looks like his microphone is working.
Okay, great. Ross, go ahead.
Good evening, Superintendent Perry and school board members. My name is Ross Ziesmer. I'm a resident of Keizer, and I want to talk to you tonight about the lack of safety in our schools, specifically as it relates to school resource officers. I worked for the school district as a campus monitor at North Salem from April 2003 to June of 2006. And during that time, I dealt with a number of students in a lot of different situations, many of whom, if they weren't dealt with properly, would have endangered other students and staff. And I just want you to know there are a couple individuals on your cabinet, Superintendent Perry, that can attest to the work that I did while working at North Salem. So as a campus monitor, unless the job description has changed, that basically involves ensuring students are in class, helping to quell any altercations or disturbances, attempting to support teachers and unruly students, and to alert the administration to situations that needed additional help. During my time there, we had an SRO that was extremely capable at his job. And I can tell you from experience that I felt more supported in my job when there was an SRO backing me up. Two situations come to mind. There was an issue between 3 students that we were keeping an eye on due to the fact that they wanted to fight. And one afternoon, I'm heading east down the main hallway, just past the attendance office, and 2 of these young men were walking in the same direction. The other young man was coming towards them, and it didn't take a genius to see that they were getting ready to fight. So I called on the radio to ask for the SRO, who thankfully was nearby at the time. At this time, I was already in the middle of these 3 young men, and I was attempting to keep them separated. The SRO came out of the office, he brandished his baton and was able to help ensure that nothing violent happened. Had the SRO not been there, it's a good bet I would have gotten hurt by trying to defuse this fight, because I couldn't have done it on my own. The second situation came as an SRO and I, the same SRI, we were in the west parking lot. There was a report of an armed man in the area, and we were there to make sure that he wasn't on the school grounds. I made a comment to the SRO and I said, if he starts, what's going to happen if he's going to start shooting? And he said to me, you get behind the engine block of a car, I'll do the shooting because that's what I'm trained for. That's the kind of law enforcement that we have. That's the kind of law enforcement we need within the school district. And so I would implore you as a parent and as an adult, having worked with this, that you bring the SROs back into the school to keep our kids safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Next caller.
Our next caller is Abigail. Abigail, are you able to unmute?
Good evening, dear Superintendent Perry, Chair Carson Cottingham, and members of the board. My name is Abigail Eckhart, and I'm a parent of 3 elementary-age students in Salem-Keizer Public Schools. I would like to start off by saying that I'm honored and proud to see my name as a member of the District Equity Advisory Committee. I find this fitting and historic as the board is going to be approving the Hispanic Heritage Month proclamation. It was just 28 years ago this week that my grandfather left this earth and passed on into the next life. As a child, he sat in a classroom that was only for Mexican Americans and was not allowed to be educated in a real school. Arizona was one of the last states to desegregate their schools informally, and even to this day, in parts of Phoenix, schools in the area are still segregated because of deep roots of racism. I am coming to you today to ask that you approve the Hispanic Heritage Month proclamation, as well as the District Equity Committee. I am committed to being a voice for my community and speak for those who don't have a voice, like my son, who is in the SPED program. I make a promise to the witnesses who've gone before me to never again allow my children or yours to be discriminated against in any way, but especially for the color of their skin or for their unseen disability. I would also like to ask you to work hard this year on building bridges with the community. I was disappointed to see that while school board members are meeting in person, the public and the community is not. I do not know if this violates any open meeting laws, and I hope that someone in your legal department can clarify that for the community. I found the district's messages to be divisive and inaccurate. I personally have come to multiple members of the board asking for solutions on escalating aggressive behavior at board meetings. I know other parents who have as well. We were met with what felt like half-hearted acknowledgement of the pain that these words and actions bring to our communities. I know that when I speak to the board, I am speaking as myself and not behalf of a group or political organization. In fact, I am not an official member of any of these organizations. I am not bound to anyone except for my family and truth. And while I may share some common ideas with some groups, I also share common ideas and experiences with some of the board members. Yes, even the ones I personally did not vote for. And I hope that you will someday see that. Lastly, I spoke last meeting about books in our libraries. In recognition of suicide awareness and being a survivor myself, I am asking you to please take a hard look at these topics being used as a source of entertainment for our children in schools. There were roughly 100 books that I counted in the high schools that are surrounding the topics of suicide. We cannot be double-minded when it comes to suicide. I am grateful that 12 years ago, I made the decision to stay, and I want that for our youth as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abigail. Next caller.
Our next caller is Cassidy.
Go ahead,
Cassidy, are you
Cassidy.
able to unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, Superintendent Perry, Chairwoman Carson Cottingham, and other board directors. My name's Cassidy Trout, and I'm a mother in the Salem-Keizer School District. As you know, I have filed a recall on the chairwoman and 2 other board directors. You also know that shortly after filing those recalls, I received death threats. I made you all aware of those threats, and every board director responded and showed genuine concern. Everyone but Mr. Avila. Mr. Avila, your response to my death threats were, and I quote, "It is very unfortunate that you're having to receive these harmful threats from your actions. This is the reason you're being recalled. Do you understand what victim blaming is? You think that it was my actions that caused these threats to be hurled my way? Would you tell the same thing to a battered woman or the victim of a sexual assault? Was it their actions too that enticed their assaults? When you aren't completely dismissing parents and community member input, You are responding in condescending and disrespectful ways. You treat those whose views differ from yours as if they are unworthy of your consideration. You dismiss us and have even told a parent to read the book White Fragility. This was a Hispanic parent who was voicing concerns about how our schools were operating. She was upset with the harassment her and her child had received at a board meeting. They had been intimidated and called racial slurs by the same youth Superintendent Perry is denying takes any part in the disruptive nature of these school board meetings. The July school board meeting was calm, civil, and very respectful. That was because there was a certain group of kids that were not there. Please stop trying to make us parents look like the bad guys. People are not blind to who is causing disruptions and safety issues at these meetings. There have been multiple special interest groups advocating for many different things at these meetings, but only one of these groups have harassed and intimidate attendees. They disrupt meetings, and we all know who that group is. Please stop trying to make us parents who are taking part in these public meetings in a civil and calm way look like the aggressors. We're not. Please take our concerns into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Cassidy. Next caller.
Our next caller is David.
Go ahead, David.
*6 to unmute.
My name is David, he, him pronouns. After many incidents this year and last year in Salem-Keizer Public Schools and in my experience, BIPOC youth and students don't get that much respect from teachers, students, and security. A lot of BIPOC students and youth don't feel comfortable around security. An incident that is shocking is when security tackled a boy. During another incident, the principal also put her hands on a student. We need fundamental health programs that do not focus on punishment. On the first week back to school, I was shocked to find cops outside of my school. This is not what BIPOC students fought for. Our schools must continue not having police. Police only make BIPOC students feel unsafe and only further to the school to prison pipeline. Bottom line is the white supremacy and racism that's happening in schools and outside of schools must end once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Next caller.
Our next caller is Alex.
Go ahead, Alex.
Alex, *6 to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay. Hello, my name is Alex. I want to start my testimony again explaining what propaganda is. And clearly some of us didn't get it right. Propaganda means propaganda that forces us to accept systematic policing that ignores the trauma that police has caused. And now that police are out of schools, you're probably wondering how is propaganda being used? And to persuading us into thinking that we need more police, right? There's people here in the school board meeting right now who also think that we should bring SROs back. And how does Salem-Keizer play a part in this? And there's many ways, right? There's one that targets low-income students. It's called Shop with the Cop. And it targets students of low income who are of color, and are forced to shop with the cop to get mutual aid and school supplies for the upcoming school years. And then groups like groups and school board members like We Stand Together and Oregon Mom Union, and many other groups that are now showing up at these school board meetings to say cops have good impacts on students, or not all cops are bad. Or saying that we do need more cops in policing our students. A lot of them like to hide behind their agendas by saying that the Salem-Keizer School District is lacking the help of parents when making decisions. But I want to say that it's important that our students are in front of these in the front line. Me as a student who goes to the same Keizer school district, who goes to a low income school and sees the difference between the school in Keizer compared to here near downtown. We see more police, we see more campus security, seeing students who are being policed at their own schools, their own neighborhoods as well. I would like to remind you as well, and those people who are on your board, as someone mentioned before, Marty Hain is a white supremacist due to her ties that she has behind her, and as well as her actions as well, chanting that we need Esther Rose back, and to follow her agenda of white supremacy. And then Daniel Bethel, who is commissioner and also school board member, who's also outed many students of color to these white supremacist groups that are not showing up, the ones that harass their students, the students outside the school board meetings, the ones who claim that they're being followed, are those who claim that they're being harmed. In reality, it's those parents who are causing those problems. Our students are fearing their lives when they come to talk to you all, and that's very unsafe and not okay, right? Our students need to feel safe in those spaces and allowed to be able to talk to their school board members, to express the concerns. We don't need no more white parents coming to tell us what they want. We've heard from white parents so many times this
Thank
year.
you, Alex.
It's time for
Thank
us
you,
to
Alex.
listen to BIPOC community.
Time's expired. Next caller.
Our next caller is Roberto. Roberto, are you able to unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Roberto.
My name is Roberto, and my pronouns are he, him, and I will not be saying any more information about myself. I'd like to say, if you're going to talk about us BIPOC youth that organize around the community, that at least you say our name directly and stop talking around it to avoid accountability. While you all are approving the Hispanic/Latin Heritage Month, I'm sure that you all are equally aware that Hispanic/Latinx students are disproportionately impacted by disciplinary policies. I'm sure that you are all also aware that Hispanic/Latinx students are 3 times more likely to be suspended, expelled, put into detention, and really any other form of punitive discipline compared to white students. When I saw these statistics both posted by this board last year, I was furious that you all allowed this to happen. But it really isn't a surprise considering that punitive discipline and punishment seem to be the main forms of targeting and harassing youth. I know that you all, as a board, are more than capable of changing policies when it comes to youth of color. Not only do I personally expect it, but the community expects changes to be made as well. To this end, I demand that all schools stay police-free. The community does not need police to surveil our students, especially our students of color and students from marginalized identities. I understand that some members on this board think it's too political, just like how County Commissioner and School Board Director Daniel Bethel said in a Facebook post in November of 21, quote, "In some of the classrooms in this district, we want to force kids into some level of identity when they haven't even figured out how to comb their hair properly," end quote. Unfortunately, students are already experiencing discrimination because of their identity inside of schools, and police don't help in any way, shape, or form. In fact, police in schools are a main form of the school to prison and deportation pipeline. The reason why I bring this, people such as the County Commissioner and School Board Director Daniel Bethel and School Board Director Marty Hain are against equity and practices that are centered around restorative justice and accountability, especially School Board Director Marty Hain when she verbalized her opposition last month on August 9th in regards to the Equity and Anti-Racism Proclamation. They are not alone in this demand. They have caused hysteria and have employed fear-mongering tactics so that they get their way in returning police into our schools. Let me remind you of some statistics. A study conducted in 2021 by the University of Albany found that SROs don't stop school shootings. Another study done by the JAMA Network in 2021 found that in 133 school shootings from 1980 to 2019, police in schools did not stop school shootings. The same is true for Uvalde just a few months ago. This is why it's beyond critical to keep police out of our schools and to reinvest funds into supporting the mental health of students, especially students of color and students of marginalized identities. Moreover, we need a new superintendent that is focused and very well versed in equity and restorative justice. We need someone who will work tirelessly.
Thank you, Roberto. Next caller.
Our next caller is Cindy. Cindy, *6 to unmute.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay. Hello, my name is Cindy. I wanted to say that I support the Latinx proclamation. In doing this, I also believe that it's incredibly important to also recognize that punitive policies that systematically and disproportionately impact Latinx students and other BIPOC students. For example, it is said that Latinx students are 3 times more likely to be suspended or expelled for disciplinary issues compared to white students. This does not mean Latinx students fight the most. It means that they are punished more frequently. It's important to get to the root of the problem, that being systemic racism that is put in place and the lack of funding towards mental health. This directly intersects with the need for equitable funding. BIPOC students have tirelessly advocated to see permanent funding for all equity and mental health programs, and we need our board to do the same. There should be no cap on mental health funding and resources. This also intersects with maintaining police-free schools and defending this as adults serving and being held accountable by your stakeholders. The presence of police only further promotes and speeds the sinister school-to-prison and deportation pipeline. Another key point is the need for having an anti-racist superintendent. We want to have a new superintendent who is committed to equity and justice. Our school leadership must be willing to work to end the systems of oppression that have negatively impacted Black, Indigenous, students of color, and students with disabilities, and trans and queer students for generations. And I also wanted to quickly add that I really hope the appointed equity committee actually follows through. I wanted to ask if you all know what equity means, because it does not mean having people affiliated with white supremacist groups within those committees.
Thank you, Cindy. Next caller.
Our next caller is Nayeli.
Go ahead, Nayeli.
Hello.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Oh, hello. My pronouns are they, them, and today I'm calling in during public comment to speak on a few points. To start with, I'd like to make clear my support of police-free schools. Our schools and campuses must continue to remain police-free for the safety of our students. Their physical presence only increases the impact of the school-to-prison pipeline on Black, Indigenous students of color. Remaining free of police presence should be a priority to the district, as it directly is correlated with our youth feeling safe. Next, I would like to support a search for an anti-racist superintendent who is committed to justice and truly using an equity lens. It should be bare minimum to have leadership who is willing to work towards eliminating the systems of oppression that affect our BIPOC youth, our LGBTQIA2+ youth, our disabled youth, and all our youth with intersecting identities and abilities. This leader should create long-lasting change that positively affects generations to come. Along with creating long-lasting change, I want to advocate for permanent equitable funding to be used for students' mental health. Finding a way to make the emergency funds permanent. These changes that have been made by adding funding and investing them into student mental health should be permanent. As long as you use emergency funds to fund it, the help for our youth can be ripped from under them. Using emergency funding is like using a Band-Aid for an open wound. Also, I would like to postpone the forming of the equity committee until the process is available to communities who have been advocating for equity for a while now. This process should include students and adults who have been historically marginalized. Finally, I'd like to honor Latinx and Hispanic Heritage Month by asking that our school district address the punitive policies that have systemically and disproportionately impacted Latinx students, as Latinx students are 3 times more likely to be suspended or expelled for disciplinary issues compared to white European American students.
Thank you very much, Nayeli. Next caller.
Our next caller is Luis. Luis, are you able to unmute?
Hi, I would like to start this testimony by saying thank you to members of the school board who voted to ban fire alarms on school district grounds. I feel much safer knowing that grown adults are prohibited from entering school buildings, posing a threat to our students, and entering school grounds with weapons. On the topic of banning weapons, I also want to address the need to reinvest the money that was previously used on SROs to be used into the education, mental health support, and well-being of BIPOC youth. As police are no longer in our schools, there is now a dire need to invest and support the mental health of youth who are undergoing mental health crises. This is especially important as we are talking about suicide prevention this month and signing a proclamation that deals with this heavy subject. If we want to talk about suicide prevention, then we need to talk about prioritizing mental health. And ways that we can do that are by investing into counselors, psychologists, and classrooms dedicated towards the well-being and resources of BIPOC youth. On another topic, I also wanted to speak on equity and the emphasis of using equity lens into seeking a new superintendent. I hope that you all agreed on finding an equitable firm, and later down that you find an equitable superintendent who reflects that of the community. You need to put a strong emphasis on uplifting equity because we need a superintendent who reflects prioritizing mental health, the needs of BIPOC students, and a superintendent who follows their words and actions, not based on performativeness. While tacking on equity, I also wish that you relook into the equity committee and postpone the recommendation of this proposal since the community had no input whatsoever on this process. I hope that all the candidates you've chosen on this committee strongly support racial justice, LGBTQ plus justice, reproductive justice, housing justice, and much more. I sincerely hope that the candidates reflect these values since this is what equity is all about. That is mainly why I hope that you postpone this equity process so that you can allow for careful consideration and more community input. Lastly, I support Latinx Heritage Month, but I also want to address that if people go beyond those labels, many of us don't identify as Latinx, we definitely don't identify as Hispanic, and many of us have indigenous identities that are overlooked and ignored in this district. If we are passing this policy, it's important to address that BIPOC and most importantly, indigenous youth who this proposal is actually addressing. Please take that into consideration when passing this policy and uplift the indigenous youth who have strong roots and lineage from Latin America. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. Next caller.
Our next caller is G. Rosas.
Go ahead, G. Rosas.
Hi. Hello, my name is G. I'm a community member and alumni. I urge the school board to make the well-being, safety, and growth of the youth as a priority. The board must do this with an intersectional and equitable lens. This means understanding the colonial structures of policing and how it affects Black students, Indigenous students, and students of color. A lot of the community has come together to voice their truths and advocate to remove the physical presence of police in our schools. I still support those demands. The physical presence of police increases the impacts of the school to prison and deportation pipeline, especially for BIPOC students and students with disabilities, which is why I question the board why there has been a recent presence of police in our schools. Moving on, I would like to support the search of a new anti-racist superintendent who is committed to truly using an equity lens and provides a just and safe environment for our youth. Our school leadership must be willing to work to end the systems of oppression that negatively impact BIPOC students, students with disabilities, trans and queer students, and students within those intersecting identities for generations. For the youth, for the growth of our youth and for lasting change, I advocate for permanent equitable funding to be used for equity programs. This would include mental health funds being permanent. The changes that have been made investing money into mental health should be permanent. If the district continues to use the emergency funds for this, the help for our youth can be ripped away from students. I also urge the board to postpone the forming of the SKSD Equity Committee until the process is accessible to communities who have been advocating for equity for a while now. This process should include students and adults who have been historically marginalized. Lastly, in honor of Latinx Heritage Month, I want the district to address the punitive policies that systemically and disproportionately impact Latinx students who are 3 times more likely to be suspended or expelled for disciplinary issues compared to their white students.
Thank you, G. Next caller.
Our next caller is Maricela.
Go ahead, Maricela.
*6 to unmute. If not, we can jump to our next caller after her, Julissa.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Julissa Rodriguez, and I am an educator in the district. And I'm just calling on a couple of agenda items. The first is encouraging you guys to adopt the Latinx Heritage History Month. I think it's really important that this is for our students to acknowledge this, and as well as the staff and the entire board. And it is a really nice banner behind, but have a little bit more effort in it, especially have a committed responsibility to address the punitive policies that impact Brown youth, and also to implement some Latino history classes at all levels. Some of the other punitive things that happen to our students would also mean to continue to have police-free schools, because if funding for punitive services worked, then the United States would not have the highest incarceration rate in the entire world. Continuing with that, reinvesting that money into the mental health of our students, and doing activities that they would like to do, so you don't have kindergartners and elementary school students fundraising for school supplies or for their little field trips to the pumpkin patch. And additionally and lastly, the board to be committed to hire in an anti-racist superintendent. Thank you.
Thank you, Julissa. Is Maricela available?
¿Sí me escuchan? Bueno.
Sí, la escuchamos.
Buenas tardes, miembro de la mesa directiva escolar y superintendente Perry. Mi nombre es Maricela Lagos y vivo en el noroeste de Salem. He estado criando 3 niños aquí en Salem por más de 22 años. Mi hijo mayor se graduó de la escuela secundaria y mis otros 2 todavía están inscritos en nuestras escuelas locales. Soy la coordinadora del grupo de liderazgo de padres y madres de la Coalición para la Igualdad de Salem-Keizer. Hace 3 años, el 28 de febrero del 2019, KATU News hizo un informe sobre los 5 adolescentes que se suicidaron en Salem-Keizer el año anterior. Estas pérdidas fueron devastadoras para las familias de estos 5 estudiantes, sus compañeros de clase y todos
of those students, schoolmates, and other members of the community. Our leadership members sent condolences to all friends and family members. Back then, the superintendent said we would do that if we had a mental health provider in each school. One of the experts on mental health interviewed back then said people are afraid of speaking about suicide. They are afraid of identifying with those thoughts or sharing time with people who are depressed. There's a stigma around this, so we need to keep helping people feel more comfortable in talking about these topics. Between 2016 and 2017, the amount of children from 9 to 24 with suicidal ideas increased by 53, from 249 to 380. We know the number of young people, teenagers who attempted suicide in the past 2 years and a half during COVID. So superintendent and members of the board, don't lose your focus. You need to hire more experts in suicide prevention, in particular, bilingual professionals and bicultural professionals to support all our kids and youngsters. Thank you.
Thank you, Maricela. Next caller.
That is the last caller that we currently have tonight.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think we will take a quick break here. Let's resume at 8 p.m. Thank you. We'll recess. We need to get going, guys and gals. Okay. I believe we're live, everyone. It is 8 o'clock, and we will resume our meeting. Okay, we're live. We're live, everyone. Come to order. Okay. We have one final person that was waiting to do public comment in the waiting room, and so we are gonna allow, and they were signed up in advance, and so we're gonna hear from one more member of the public for the 3 minutes, and then we'll move to the next section of the agenda. So if we could get the caller up.
Yeah, we have Rachel next. Rachel, are you able to unmute? It doesn't look like Rachel's able to unmute. So it's going to be *6, but they're joined via Zoom, so they should be able to unmute.
Okay. Well, hopefully Rachel can join next meeting. We do need to move on in our agenda. So sorry about that. Okay, the next part of our agenda is our action items. And so the first action item is to approve the Hispanic Heritage Month and Welcoming Week proclamation. And I'm going to turn it over to our second vice chair, Karina Guzman Ortiz.
Thank you, Chair Cottingham. We just want to go ahead and recognize that each year Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th through October 15th by celebrating the contributions of Americans whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. The observance began in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week and was expanded in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15th through the end of October 15th. And Welcoming Week is celebrated each year, September 9th through the 18th, and provides the opportunity for us to reaffirm that our communities are stronger than we feel when we feel like we belong, and the contributions of all are welcomed. So we'd like to, at this time, move on and read the proclamation. Is that correct?
Yes, that would be great.
Thank you. And I'll go ahead and begin with that. Whereas Salem-Keizer Public Schools recognizes that the Hispanic and Latinx people and cultural heritage contribute to our nation's success in extraordinary ways. They are integral to our economy and success. They are essential as community and business leaders, workers in the agricultural industry. They serve in the military. They serve as educators, and they are part of all our schools and community. And whereas the Latinx heritage of the United States extends over many years, and whereas indigenous cultures resided in this region before Oregon obtained statehood, and whereas Spaniard and Mexican cultures have lived in North America since the Spaniards established its colonies there in the 16th century, and whereas the United States has a centuries-old tradition of welcoming immigrants, which has given us a tremendous advantage over the rest of the world, and our school board affirms that tradition, and whereas the Salem-Keizer Hispanic and Latinx community has the same dreams, values, trials, and triumphs as all people, and they show the same grit and determination that have carried us forward for centuries. And whereas 40% of our students and 14% of our staff identify as Hispanic or Latinx, and whereas the school board is committed to creating pathways to grow opportunities for Hispanic and Latinx employees to have more equitable representation, And whereas the school board supports providing opportunities for Hispanic and Latinx students to partner and celebrate their cultures through MECHA, the Movimiento Estudiantil Chicano de Aztlán Club, whose motto is Unity Makes Strength, and other Latinx clubs and activities. And whereas our schools honor and preserve the linguistic and cultural assets of students through bilingual and dual language programs, in our Heritage Spanish and Advanced Placement Spanish courses, these contribute to producing students who are prepared for the Oregon Biliteracy Certificate, a highly sought-after job quality, as well as honoring and enriching the diverse backgrounds of our students from Spanish-speaking households. These programs also provide the same opportunities to non-Spanish speaking students from diverse backgrounds, which contributes further to a positive, integrated, multicultural, multilingual school community. And whereas our community is strengthened by the support and advocacy from Latinx-based community organizations like the Salem-Keizer Coalition for Equality, Mano a Mano Family Center, Latino Unidos Siempre, Mujeres Luchadoras Progresistas, Pineros y Campesinos Unidos del Noroeste, Causa, Instituto de Cultura Oregoniana, Interface Network, Farm Worker Housing Development Corp., Capaces Leadership Institute, Centro de Servicios para Campesinos, Casa de la Cultura Tlanese, Enlace, groups promoting understanding of indigenous Mesoamerican cultures and faces of America. And whereas inclusion is a core value of our district, and the school board has a responsibility to oppose the historical systemic racism towards Hispanic, Latinx, and immigrant people in Oregon, which perpetuates high rates of educational inequities, poverty, and income inequality, and disproportionate health outcomes, all of which exacerbate social and economic crises. And whereas the school board has affirmed its position of being a safe and welcoming school district, and whereas at no time in our community's history has the need to work together been more necessary, and it is important that residents of Salem and Keizer join in a spirit of welcoming and inclusiveness to embrace the talents and contributions of all residents, specifically Hispanic and Latinx members of our community. And whereas the school board commits to creating a successful educational outcomes for our Hispanic, Latinx, and immigrant students. Now, therefore, the Salem-Keizer School District Board of Directors proclaims September 15th through October 15th to be Hispanic Heritage Month and September 9th through 18th to be Welcoming Week, and encourages all members of our community to join in celebrating our Hispanic, Latinx, and immigrant students and families.
Thank you. I would ask for a motion at this time. Director Chandragiri.
I make the motion to approve this.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. First, Vice Chair Hinojos Pressy has seconded the motion. And we will move to discussion. Again, this will be the first time we attempt 2 minutes per board director round robin and 2 minutes again round robin. And first, Vice Chair Hinojos Pressy is the official timer. Director Chandragiri.
Thank you very much. I just ask everybody to support this. As an immigrant parent, we all came to this country so that our children can have good education, do better than us. And it was wonderful to hear directly from the community. I went to the North Gate picnic that Hallman family spent 2 times there, and directly listened to the community right from the families. And one thing is very common, that we all want to do what's best for our nation. We want to seek unity. We want our children to do better. We want our children to be safe. And yet, we can celebrate our unique diversity and our heritage. Both are possible, and that's the important lesson I learned, and which I share with other immigrant communities. I heard from students, some of the youth leaders, who directly, that there are many indigenous communities, even in Mexico, South America, and the Americas, and Mexico is so diverse and rich. We need to find a way to celebrate their unique heritage and yet have a sense of belonging to our nation and celebrate this. So with that in mind, I really think we should approve this. We should all support this. and find a way to celebrate the unity and the diversity and rich heritage and learn from each other. So thank you very much for bringing this important proclamation, and let's all join together to support this, and I'll be supporting this.
Thank you, Director Chandagiri. Director Hyen, would you like to go next?
Sure, thank you. I do support and care about our Hispanic students, my neighbors, and immigrants. If we take the sum total of all of our group proclamations for a whole year, who have we left out? We call ourselves an inclusive district, but I suspect looking at all these documents, we are not including everyone. Inclusive means everyone. I do support and even love some people of Hispanic heritage, as this includes members of my own family. All people should be celebrated, not just some. For that reason, I will not be supporting the resolution, and I hope we can get back to a focus on core education like reading and math, which should be our #1 priority.
Thank you. Student Advisor Brennan.
So, oh, sorry, I'm getting feedback. Okay. Well, I know many people who are Hispanic, and most of them are upset that when it comes time to go back to school, that Hispanic Heritage Month gets overlooked because school is the thing that's most important to people and back to school. And so I know currently at the job where I work, my coworker, who is a sophomore at South Salem High School, is working really hard to get both her school and our work to do more to recognize Hispanic Heritage Month. And I think that it's important that we acknowledge students who want to be acknowledged and who need to be acknowledged. So that's why I think we should support it.
Thank you. Others? Director Avila?
I think this is a very special time for my culture, my heritage, but I have a dual capacity. You know, I was born here in the United States. I love the United States, but I also love my Mexican-American culture, my Mexican culture. And I think it's very important that we see that reflected into our schools, into our communities, the expansion of the dual language program. Our very own student advisor, Isaac, has benefited from dual language program. And I've conversed with him in Spanish, and he speaks it better than my own children. And what the biggest impact is about being able to celebrate these different heritage months that are recognized nationally is that students see themselves. They feel welcome. They feel included, which leads them to be better for themselves. Be better, do better in academics. You know, they work harder. They know they feel supported. They feel that they have the resources available to them, and we need to continue to bring those resources to our students to meet them where they're at so they can be even more successful. So for this reason, I will be supporting Hispanic Heritage Month. And I think we could also continue to follow the national trend of renaming this as it's out there. So maybe something we can look at in the next year.
Thank you, Director Avila. Others? Student Advisor McDonald?
I would just like to say that I think this is a good resolution. I think students across the district will benefit this, and I support this as a resolution that is kind of a precursor to action that will promote equity in our district. And I also think it's an appropriate time to highlight something that's been happening at my high school, West Salem, recently, and the renewed efforts to ensure that as many students can get the biliteracy seal as possible. So I'd like to give a shout out to one of my teachers, Senora Pozos, who's been doing a lot of work getting students together. She's not getting paid for this. She's just doing it on her own time, but it's making sure a lot of students who wouldn't have the opportunity to get this certificate are able to get it, and it will benefit them for the rest of their lives and employment and stuff. And then also, I'd just like to express my gratitude to Hare Elementary School and Walker Middle School and West Salem High School for the dual language program. which has been a really important part of my identity in my life, and I wouldn't trade anything for that. So, and seeing Miss Ochoa in one of the videos earlier, she was actually my first grade teacher, and it brought back a lot of nostalgia for me, and so I'm just really thankful for that.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Director Chandra Gary.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair, for the second round. To me, this is really important for a different reason. Having bilingual proficiency or biliteracy or bicultural proficiency saves lives. You know, it's a really life and death situation for a lot of times when folks are not able to come and express what they are going through. So I really see it as a health and safety reasons why we need to celebrate biculturally and bilingually, multicultural proficiency. And I'm glad that after a lot of hard work by so many people, after nearly 2 decades of waiting in our community, we have taken a bold step towards bilingual immersion program, and I hope this will continue. And this is really a good thing, and so that our children can really become doctors and engineers and STEM leaders of the future. I really want to hear more of that kind of aspiration directly in the public comment about our culture being represented, our aspirations of parents and families who come to this country with the hope that our children can get the best education that this nation can offer and should offer, get that. And that is the reason I really think we need to celebrate and support it and hold ourselves accountable that we not just pass a resolution by Bill Lib, make sure this translates into real actionable items which our community should hold me and us accountable to see that it translates. I would like to see a good pipeline of STEM leaders. I would like to see pipeline of doctors and multicultural, multilingually proficient professionals in all fields come out of this. We should not stop at this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment from board directors? Director or Second Vice Chair Guzman Ortiz.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to quickly acknowledge it was an honor to be able to read every single word on that proclamation, and just want to recognize that the recognition of Hispanic Heritage Month in our Latinx community does not exclude other communities, right? Like, this is just a specific focus for this month and in this proclamation. And with that, acknowledging that just as there are beautiful stories and success stories, that we not overlook the pain and the oppression that the community has lived, and that by recognizing that we can take those next steps into taking actionable steps to improve educational outcomes and supporting students in the classroom. So I think it just comes with all, just like every human on this earth, right, has experienced both beauty, pain, and perhaps despair. That happens in all of our communities, and to not minimize that, I think is going to be really important for us to be able to grow and learn and collaborate with our Latinx community. And so it's beautiful to see all of the different organizations that are named there, and recognizing that it's not a complete list, because there is always more, and that there is a lot of community building that goes and that happens outside of, established systems as well, and a lot of community building happens in homes and in circles. So thanks to all of those great educators, just like the ones mentioned by our student advisor, McDonald, and all those others who have supported our children, including my own little children, who have been in those bilingual classrooms as well, and who have felt seen because their Latina and Mexican educators have been able to communicate with them in their native language, and also being able to share the same culture. And, even talking about the novelas and Chavo del Ocho and all those little nuances that are so important for our children to feel seen and heard. So just appreciation for everything that's happening and for everything that is to come.
Thank you. Oh, Director Hyen, I see your hand back up.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I do care about our Hispanic people in the community, and I know it's important to some, and for that I do feel a little bit bad. It isn't about them. It is about the fact that if you take every single month these types of proclamations, each group that we celebrate, which is great, right? We're celebrating different people groups. There's somebody that's left out by the end of the year. And this is where I feel, as me personally, I am not being inclusive unless I'm including everybody. And so it's for personal reasons that I can't support it, not because I don't support the bilingual education that we're doing, biliteracy, or the Hispanic community.
Thank you. Okay, then we can move to a vote. First Vice Chair Hinojos Presi. Aye. Second Vice Chair Guzman Ortiz.
Aye.
Director Avila.
Aye.
Director Bethel.
Aye.
Director Chandogiri.
Aye.
Director Hyan.
I abstain.
And I am supportive. Aye. So the proclamation passes, and we will move to suicide prevention, action item B. Superintendent Perry, would you like to introduce this one? I know you mentioned in your overview.
This is the Suicide Month resolution, and Ashawn, our social worker who works on suicide prevention, helped craft this, and then we made sure it showed really some of our actions we're taking, which I thought were really important. And one thing I failed to mention in my superintendent's report, the other thing that Ashawn has done is really worked to further refine our suicide protocol for intervention as well. So with that, I'll turn it back to you for a vote.
Thank you. I encourage everyone to read this resolution in the public, and definitely do what the superintendent recommended in sharing that poster with resources. I'd love to also recommend that families and any of the school board members and others engage in those training opportunities that the superintendent mentioned, so that we can all do our part to prevent suicide. So with that, I would just take a motion. First Vice Chair Hinojos Presi.
I move to approve, to adopt resolution number 2022-23-3, suicide prevention.
I second.
Okay, it was a tie between Director Hyan and Director Avila. Director Avila has given it to you, Director Hyan, as the second. Okay, and we have time for discussion now. Director Bethel.
I don't have discussion, but I think this is just as important as a proclamation to be read into the record, and so if that's fine, I'd request a board member to do so.
Yeah, would you like to? Sure. Yeah, I think it's really important as well. I know I've had requests from board members that we not read all of them, so I was trying to honor that, but I'm happy to take the time because it's super important.
Okay, resolution 2022-23-3, suicide prevention. Whereas suicide is a tragic outcome of many complex factors that can affect anyone, does not discriminate, that requires immediate action, consistent attention, and appropriate resources for prevention, intervention, and post-vention efforts. And whereas suicide is the 9th leading cause of death for Oregonians and the 2nd leading cause of death for Oregon youth ages 10 to 24. And whereas 63 people died by suicide in Marion County, and 13 people died by suicide in Polk County in 2020. And whereas anyone may be silently fighting thoughts of suicide, and the stigma around mental health and suicide may interfere with suicide prevention by discouraging individuals from seeking timely, appropriate, and life-saving help. And whereas suicide prevention focuses on addressing warning signs, risk, and impact factors throughout the lifespan that may contribute to suicide thoughts and/or attempts, while also emphasizing protective and resilience factors to support ongoing prevention. And whereas no single suicide prevention effort will be sufficient or appropriate for all populations or communities, and every person and organization have an essential role in supporting prevention, reducing stigma, and saving lives. And whereas public awareness, education, care, connection, building resiliency, referrals, and treatments are some important factors to prevent further suffering and loss of life. And whereas Salem-Keizer Public Schools intervenes with hundreds of students each year who are experiencing and expressing suicidal ideation and/or behavior, and the loss of even one student life is too many. And whereas Salem-Keizer Public Schools embraces the challenging but life-saving work of promoting prevention, intervention, and postvention, advocating for more equitable and culturally responsive care and supports, and equipping district staff to talk about suicide, recognize if an individual is struggling with thoughts of suicide, and provide a life-saving intervention for this person struggling. And whereas Salem-Keizer Public Schools adopted a suicide prevention policy in September 2019 and trains all school staff and many community members in question, persuade, refer, otherwise known as QPR, suicide prevention efforts, and promotes genuine gestures of kindness, care, connection, concern, and acknowledgement of the value and worth of others' lives. And whereas September was first declared National Suicide Prevention Month in 2008 to increase awareness that prevention efforts saves lives, and Salem-Keizer Public Schools wants to contribute those awareness and prevention efforts. Now therefore it be resolved that Salem-Keizer Public Schools commits to continuing supporting suicide prevention efforts through ongoing QPR training for all staff and implementation of evidence-based suicide prevention training for counselors and social workers, and the use of robust suicide prevention protocols, student access to mental health supports, ongoing collaboration and prevention with community partners, and the Mid-Valley Suicide Prevention Coalition, and authentic care and connection with all students.
Thank you very much. Okay, Director Chandagiri, you had your hand up.
I just want to acknowledge that the good work that our district is doing in this effort. From 2019 September onwards, when we passed the suicide prevention policy, our district has done a good job. They have got the staff trained. They have done an amazing work. And it's still going to take all of us. Suicide prevention is everybody's business. And one of the important points that I really want to share is, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you. We have come a long way. We still have to continue. A sense of belonging is where I really want us to start thinking, because once our children and staff and everybody starts feeling a sense of connectedness and belonging, that is going to save life, and hopefully moving forward, we can all work together to help promote that, where every child, every family, every teacher has a sense of belonging in our district, and we support each other and take care of each other and save sacred life in each other. So thank you very much, and thank you, Superintendent Perry, and all your team for doing a good job. So I will be supporting this.
Thank you, Director Chandagiri. Student Advisor Brennan.
So I want to start off by saying that I am a student who has dealt with being suicidal since 6th grade, and it has been an off and on struggle ever since. And it has been really hard for me and other students that I know, and people seem to sometimes think that they understand the struggle, but if you haven't been there, then you can't quite know how deep that pool feels and how easy it is to start drowning. I also want to note that some people who are suicidal will show warning signs, but there are so many people who don't show warning signs. I was one of those people in which, after I finally was able to speak up and say, hey, this is what's going on, the people around me told me that they didn't notice a difference and they didn't see any of the signs because I didn't show signs. I think it's important for us to pass this proclamation because not only is it telling students that we see and we hear the struggles that they are going through, but it also shows that we are going to support them no matter how hard the struggle is. I also want to I want to say that we need to be able to not only have counselors and social workers having these conversations, but we need teachers and students having these conversations with each other. Because most students, from my experience from whom I've talked to, honestly don't feel comfortable going to a counselor, especially if they are suicidal, and which is really unfortunate. And it's a way that we're trying to help our students, but our students aren't getting help. And so it's important that we have these conversations between our students and that it's not a subject that's touchy or whatnot, but conversations that need to be had.
Thank you. Director Hyan?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Raylan, for sharing your experience. And I'm wondering, how do we support those that don't show signs? And maybe that's a conversation for another day that the board could have, or get some information on how you support those who don't show the typical signs.
Thank you. Director Avila?
I want to start off by saying thank you, Raylan, for sharing your experience. Very important to hear that, and I encourage other students to also step up and be able to share and receive help and that support. And this is also, I see this as a foundation of like a North Star as well for the district to be able to implement practices and procedures and services for our students. And one of those is our transgender students who have one of the most highest suicidal rates in the country, including Oregon. When they are recognized, when they are being served, when they're being welcomed and included, it's why it's very important to have these type of policies put in place. And to some of the emails that we've received in the board, when they call out that these transgender policies go against a very small minority of our students and that we need to do away with them, that's just horribly wrong. That's really upsetting to me when I have to read that. It's really upsetting when we have to hear community members think that way. It causes such pain and trauma and causes our students to go back into the shadows. So thank you, Superintendent, and your administrative team for putting these policies in place.
Thank you, Director Avila. Student Advisor McDonald?
I would just like to take the time to highlight one of the core values at my school, West Salem High School, which is curiosity, because I think it's really important for students and parents and teachers to remember that taking the time to ask a student how they are or have a little interaction can make a big difference. And I'm actually referencing, there's a student group at South Salem called Live to Tell that focuses on suicide prevention, and we were able to get a presentation last year in the district advisory group. And one thing they highlighted is just to take the time, if you see someone who's looking down or just with your peers, to try to have that deeper level of connection, because a lot of times it's just really quick and easy, and it can do a lot of good.
Thank you. That's amazing. Other directors? Okay, we'll go back to Student Advisor Brennan.
Just a quick thing that I wanted to add that I forgot during my last speech. Piggybacking off of what Director Oswaldo said, is that when we don't use transgender and non-binary and genderqueer students' correct pronouns, we are not doing our part in suicide prevention, because when we use people's correct pronouns, it is suicide prevention, and I cannot stress that enough.
I apologize. I think I used your incorrect pronoun. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you, Director Hyan. All right, Director Shandagiri.
I just wanted to ask a question for clarification. In September or 2019 or soon after, there was students' ID had all the names, the contact numbers and resources in the back, so that we had more than one way of letting people know different ways in which you can access, because not everybody will go and check in the website. So we'll probably have to flood multiple ways to communicate this so that people feel comfortable So I just wanted to ask if that is still being practiced. It's
Yeah,
not a discussion, just a clarification. There you go. So that.
Yes, it is. I have my student ID right here, and we have.
Even better.
So if student advisor, Isaac, if you can explain what that means so that families can understand. Sorry, Chair, I just skipped you to Isaac directly.
No, completely fine. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, just so on the back of the student ID cards, there's a bunch of information starting with life-threatening emergencies, call 911, and then mental health crisis lines like the Oregon Youth Line, or texting numbers, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, Red Nacional de Prevención del Suicidio, like in Spanish. And then you can also report a tip for bullying, threat of violence to school, or student drugs to Safe Oregon. You can call or text them. There's a number on the back too.
So just if you see something, say something so that people can do something. That information is very important. It saves lives. So silence kills. When you speak up, you save life. There is no other simple mantra to remember other than that. So please feel free to, it's okay, it's cool to speak up and ask for help or share with others. That's the only thing I just wanted to remind people that the badge was one wonderful step the district had taken. Thank you.
Great. I'm supportive, obviously, of this resolution. This is a topic very near and dear to me. I've lost people very close to me to suicide. And in my career earlier, I worked a lot on preventing suicide in the older adult population and recognizing that that's some of the highest suicide levels that we see in our communities is amongst our seniors or older adults. And now focusing on kids here in the schools, I mean, this is just so important that we're all doing our part. And with the last couple of years, 3 years, going on 3 years now, it's even more critical that we're checking in on people and making sure that they have the resources they need. So unless there's any other comment, I will call for a vote. First, Vice Chair Hinojos Presi.
Aye.
Second Vice Chair Guzman Ortiz.
Aye.
Director Avila.
Aye. Aye.
Director Bethel. Aye. Director Chandagiri. Aye. Director Hyen.
Aye.
And I am an aye. Great. Resolution passes unanimously. Now we will move on to item number 4, I don't think I'm naming that right, but it's the next action item, which is appointment of the District Equity Advisory Committee, and I'm going to ask Superintendent Perry to introduce this item.
All right. As you know, we needed and wanted to stand up a District Equity Advisory Committee. I've shared about this in a couple previous board meetings. The law gives me the responsibility for the selection process, and then your responsibility is to make sure that it represents underserved or marginalized communities as defined in the law. We sent out the application to all parents in the district, and then I gave the responsibility for selection of the students to Raylan and Isaac. I suggested that perhaps they might have a lot of other work on their hands because they will be participating with the board in additional meetings. So they said they'd be happy to do it. So they reviewed and offered the selection for the students. I think that both of them are hoping to attend as much as possible, but they gave membership away to 2 other students. So we had 239 applications for the 20 to 25 member committee. We initiated a selection process that included people that weren't part of the executive team, but were able to remove names and use a scoring rubric that aligned to what was required by law. So they've reviewed the applications, and you can see that the membership in the group is included in the board plate. They don't add up to the 18 or 19 that we have because there is intersectionality among some people on the community or on the group. So you might have a student, you might represent a student of color and a student with disabilities, or you might represent three, but we tried to show you how the committee what their makeup was. These numbers don't include the two students, so that, because those came a little bit later, even though the two students are on the list. What I will tell you is that we believe strongly that we're hopeful that we've gotten it right, but I think we have to be open to the fact that there might be somebody missing from the group. So one of the first things we're thinking about is once the group does some get to know you activities, that they spend a little time saying, are there voices missing from this conversation? And to just give ourselves a little space that we might need to add a member or two. So with that, I'm recommending that you take action to appoint the members presented to the Salem-Keizer Public Schools District Equity Committee. But I also want to open up for a minute to Isaac and Raylyn to see if either of you wanted to offer any comments about the student selection.
Oh, Raylyn, do you want to go?
So for choosing the students, it was a long process that took a while, not a whole lot, but a while. And it involved Isaac and I rewriting the application so that way it better served the purpose of what we need to choose the two students.
Yeah, I'd just like to add on to that we had a lot of really good applications, and it was a tough choice, but we ended up with two students who I think will do a really good job representing the district and bring really important voices to this committee, and I'm excited to see the input that they have.
And then one more clarification on the motion. You are appointing them to a one-year term. So.
Great. I'd look for a motion. Director Chandagiri.
Accept the entire recommendation, and so I move that
Okay.
we accept as presented.
Great. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Director Avila, seconds. And discussion. Director Bethel.
I just would like clarification on the 1 year. Is it a calendar year or a school year, like September to June?
I think we would consider it a school year, and then we'll regroup next summer to decide kind of what's next with committee appointment. I don't think we would want a full turnover of the group for some continuity's sake, but we'll get the group started and see where we end up.
Director Chandagiri.
So I really want to thank Superintendent Perry for suggesting this. I see lots of new faces. That way we are giving more authentically. We are reaching out to different sections of our community. Because most of the other groups, I see some names getting duplicated. So this is a very good start, and hopefully it'll start bringing more parents and community members and different sections of our community to start participating and engaging. The second question as part of that is, this committee, who will they advise? Is it for the district? Is it for the board? Or are they going to review the policies? And what function they will have is not clear to me.
So it's not totally clear in the law, but they advise the superintendent, technically, by the legal definition, advise the superintendent in policy inequities that they see, and they can provide reports to the school board at a certain point.
So they function as an advisory group, but not binding. That's not like they vote on policy, correct?
Correct. You do have one requirement in the law that you need, if you have an open position on the budget committee, you need to appoint somebody from the equity committee to the budget committee. So there's that one link to the budget committee.
Follow-up superintendent and chair. So they will once we appoint them, they become, by our definition, they become a public official, just like a budget committee member or some other appointed board committee appointed member. Is that the role they'll play, or they are district committees?
It's a district committee.
Other discussion? Okay. Seeing none, I'll move to the vote. First Vice Chair Nojos Presi.
Aye.
Second Vice Chair Guzman Ortiz.
Aye.
Director Avila.
Aye.
Director Bethel.
Aye.
Director Shondagiri.
Aye.
Director Hyan.
Aye.
And I am an aye as well. Great, thank you very much. And we'll move to our next agenda item, 5D, nominations for Oregon School Boards Association Board of Directors. There are 2 positions open, Marion County Region Position 11, which is a 2-year term, and Marion County Region Position 12, a 1-year term. Is there a nomination for OSBA Board Position 11, the 2-year term? Can I nominate someone? I nominate Second Vice Chair Guzman Ortiz.
Do we need to second that nomination? No? I'll second it.
Any discussion? Director Shondagiri.
You know, I was just thinking in a different time, I would have wanted our board to have had 2 representatives to go there and sit in the Oregon School Board Association. I gave a lot of thought to these 2 positions and said, we are in a very unprecedented situation. We have a lot of work to do, and we really have to do some work within our board and with our communities. So after giving a lot of thought, I will not be supporting any of one of us because we have some real important work to do locally before we can undertake working for the entire state and trying to bring our state together. So because of which I will not be supporting any one of us, because we cannot get distracted and we have to stay focused here locally. That's my position.
Thank you. Other discussion? Director Bethel.
Thank you. I won't be supporting any nomination either, similar to the reasons Dr. Shondagiri produced, but mostly because I don't support the Oregon School Board Association or our participation in it.
Okay, thank you. Other discussion? Director Hyan.
Yes, I just want to say I agree 100% with Director Bethel.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to the vote. First Vice Chair Nojos Presi.
Aye.
Second Vice Chair Guzman Ortiz.
Aye.
Director Avila.
Aye.
Director Bethel.
No.
Director Shondagiri.
No.
Director Hyan.
No.
And I am a yes. Okay, we'll move on to the second one. Is there a nomination for, and sorry, the nomination moves forward for Second Vice Chair Guzman Ortiz to run for position 11. Is there a nomination to the OSBA Board position 12?
I'll nominate Director Avila.
Do I have a second? Can I second? I'll second. It feels weird to second when you're chairing the meeting, but anyway. Okay, discussion. There's a weird feedback loop. Are you hearing that on your end, Director Hyan?
Yes, that's what I wanted to comment on. Is you're sounding like you're in the Alps. It's echoing.
Okay, we think we may have solved the feedback loop. We'll see. Okay, any discussion on this nomination? Director Avila.
Yeah, I'll just say I appreciate the nomination. Look forward to possibly serving with the OSBA board, as I've engaged with the OSBA board already, and continue to seek leadership and professional development to continue to help our state and our district.
Other discussion? Okay, I'm not seeing any. I'm pausing again, making sure. Okay, we'll move to the vote on this one then. First Vice Chair Enos Presi.
Aye.
Second Vice Chair Guzman Ortiz.
Aye.
Director Avila.
Aye.
Director Bethel.
No?
Director Chandragiri.
No.
Director Hyan.
No.
And I am an yes. So the nomination is approved for Director Avila for position 12. Okay, moving on to consent calendar. Superintendent Perry, do you wish to review any items on the consent calendar?
I do not.
Okay. Do any board members wish to pull an item? Director
No,
No. Director Bethel, sorry.
I just wanted.
I'm calling on Director Bethel for the folks on Zoom. She's not pulling an item yet.
I just want to make a motion to accept the consent calendar as presented.
Okay, I just want to make sure because Director Hyan has her hand up.
Good job. Do you want me to make a comment about personnel items really quickly?
I'll second it.
Director Hyan.
Is that how you'd like me to handle it? I can.
You have the floor.
Okay, so I won't pull it. I just wanted to say that I know everybody was surprised and disappointed last month when I pulled an item from the consent calendar, but it was not the item I normally do. So for you, Superintendent Perry, I am pulling it again. I'm pulling it this month. So in keeping with my tradition, 27 resignations and 2 retirements. And of course, I don't believe the resignations include any instructional assistants or office staff. Thank you.
Okay, with that, I would take a motion to approve the entire consent calendar. Since she
I'll second it.
she quasi pulled it. She said she wasn't really pulling it. She just wanted to make the comment, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll motion to approve the consent calendar as is.
I'll second.
Okay, moved by Director Avila, seconded by Director Bethel. And we can vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, no, I don't think anyone, I think everyone said aye, right? No, Director Chandragiri, I didn't see.
I abstain from this.
Okay, so 1 abstention and everyone else is an aye, I believe. Is that correct? Okay, great. We don't have any readings tonight, so that takes us on to our information and standard reports. Superintendent Perry.
All right, I'll just make a couple comments on the standard reports. First of all, the Salem-Keizer Early Childhood Programs report. It's a annual or a couple times a year requirement. Next time we report, our goal would be that we could bring in our early childhood director and a few parents to give the report. So we do 1 written, 1 verbal, and just a huge shout out to our preschool programs and what they do, especially in intervention for early childhood special education. I've heard a report from our student services director about some kids that have come to grades K through 5 that didn't get early childhood because of the pandemic, and then came in with severe disabilities and really didn't have early intervention services. So I just want to state that our preschool programs are really doing important, critical work on behalf of our kids. And again, we have about 500 kids enrolled in our preschool programs. And then The other thing I'll mention is just a reminder, you will have additional meetings added to your calendar. As soon as Alice gets those, she will make sure they're on your calendar and they're on the board calendar as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I was very excited about the work outlined in that early childhood program Head Start report. In particular, some of the stuff we've been talking about tonight, just around the hiring of a full-time mental health therapist focused on those little kiddos, so critical at those ages, and then highlighting the implementation of that pyramid model with the emphasis on social, emotional, and behavioral development at those very, very early stages, laying that foundation for a successful path through our public schools. It was just exciting to me to see that work. On the board goals and operating agreements, just take a look in your packet. The agreement that we worked on with Vince Adams from OSBA should look pretty familiar. It has a lot of our words incorporated into it. We'll discuss it at our next meeting this month. And then the work product so far on the goals that we all brainstormed around our priorities for this school year. And I committed to you to put them into the format of having some strategic goals, the strategies to achieve the goals, and then an outcome or work product. And so that's where the work now needs to continue, is to figure out, you'll see that some of the deliverables or outcomes or work products are more vague. And so that's where we would want to say, we want to see a report that details this particular data element and explains what we're doing in our schools, or we want to see our KPMs improve by X% in these areas. So that's what I'm hoping, if you take a look at it, everyone, before the next meeting, that we'll really drill down and establish those measurables at that meeting, and then we'll be able to focus on those goals. If there's anything you see missing or you don't feel like we got it quite right, like, please provide me that feedback over the next couple of weeks so that we have a pretty good document to work from at that work session. Go ahead, Director Bethel.
So I don't know if all of us as board members have, but I have received a few emails from kindergarten parents concerned with class sizes, and Superintendent Perry did send the board an email with like first week procedures and so forth on how you manage those classrooms. But I'd be curious if you can add to your report process, whether it's your spreadsheet or whatever you're doing in the future, something pretty similar to what we just got for early childhood, to focus on kindergarten. Because I think while it's really important to focus on early childhood, it's also equally as important to focus on kindergarten, so that way we as a board can make budgetary decisions going forward to invest in the gaps if they exist. And the only way to know that is by receiving that information in advance of what I believe is the budget season.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. And I think, we were able to, in the budget, add some of those elementary positions based on that information that was presented. But I think, leading up, I think that's a great idea, leading up to budget preparation, to really dive in again, because I think that's one of the number one things I'm hearing as well in the community. Director Chandagiry?
Yeah. I really like the way you have arranged this strategic planning under the focus on goal 6.0, focus on equity-based, and create MOU with tribes. Would it be helpful if you could kind of expand, if you're going to be talking about Senate Bill 13 and tribal history, shared history curriculum expansion from K to 12, because right now it's, I believe it's 4, 8, and 10th grade, which ODE had done 5 years ago, because our community has brought it up. So just a thought, if that would be a consideration, just like what we did with dual language expansion this time. If we can start working, then we can get ready for the budget and make sure that just a little bit beyond MOU, we can really start thinking in terms of implementing the curriculum and start like what we did with dual language. So just a thought I wanted to share.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. The process of developing the MOU with the tribe would be getting into all kinds of agreements with that. It would be with a tribe, one at a time, to work through what that tribe would like to see us as a government do with their government and through the work we do in Salem-Keizer Public Schools. And so we would be working through that process, absolutely. And there would be time for input from us as a board working as a government with their government. Director Avila.
I'd like to elaborate a little bit on that. Having the preliminary discussions, also attending the Grand Ron Education Summit this year, and being in the session with Angela Fasana, their tribal education department manager. She did state that when the school district enters into an MOU with them specifically, she does have an expectation and a requirement that curriculum is embedded in every single grade. And there's other stuff, if there's mascot issues that we have to address. There's a point person, normally that point person is the superintendent that they would work with directly. So their requirements, it's really going to be more of an operational MOU from my understanding, how she came to explain it. But we continue to have conversations with Grand Ron and looking forward to further conversations with Siletz.
Okay. So next we have our board reports. We're running long, I think, because we've had some delays, but this is the time on our agenda to share some of the work around your committee assignments and activities of our board related to the programs, youth programs and school district activities. So let's just try to keep it quick for our interpreters, but we want to give everyone the opportunity. So, Director Avila.
Yeah, I'll quickly just share, apart from the dual language information I got to share again, but one important note is I got to attend a private tour with Liberty House and other community members and leaders, and just talking about the services that they provide, the counseling, the trauma services. I think it aligns really well with prevention, suicide prevention. And I know we do have a staff person on our staff person leading the work for providing the services that our students need. And so to our educators and staff, all staff, from bus drivers to janitors, to teacher aides, to administrators. And I really am starting to engage in conversations to try to see what we can bring into the board as a work session. And once I get that information, I'll be able to share with board leadership and then hopefully bring it to the entire board.
Thank you. Director Hyan?
Yes, thank you. I was able to attend the CBOC meeting. It was held at Sprague. Unfortunately, I had to be virtual. I got to attend the last 2022 McKay graduation. It was actually held at McKay. There were approximately 20 graduates. Christy would know for sure the number probably. The school made the ceremony very special and I was honored to be there. They had a little information about each student. They had cake and everything. It was just really nice. They made it really special for those kids. And then I was able to be at Washington Elementary School for the first day of school. It was really nice to see there's still people that work there when my son went there as a child. And most of the kids seemed happy to be there. There were a few little trepidatious kids, but most of them seemed, pretty happy, like I said. I've had many parents ask about the SROs in our schools, and I'm happy to report that we are having a work session on the subject in October. I know it's in our agenda, in case a parent didn't see that. And then I'd also like to point out that September is also Disaster Preparedness Month. Remember, it isn't if a large earthquake hits, it's when. If you want to know about getting prepared, feel free to email me and I'll help you out.
Thank you. I just want to clarify, Director Hyan, so that's a draft document that we're going to work on at the end of the month, and it's a proposed date in there that we need to discuss. So it's not yet set on that agenda, but we should discuss it at the end of the month. But that was a proposed date in there.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was an approved item.
just want to, it may be, I just want to clarify that we haven't worked, all 7 of us, to agree to that yet.
Okay, because I was going to say something about that we haven't talked about it yet because parents are asking. So I was hoping to give them good news that it was on the agenda.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we'll finalize the goals document and set those dates for those deliverables at the next meeting this month. Director Shondagiri?
Well, I really want to say thank you very much to President Alondra Kissinger, the President of Native Education Parent Advisory. Those 2 hours was wonderful. Dr. West also was there in that meeting, and I learned quite a lot. And so I really appreciate, and so thank you very much for inviting me. Just met her in that 50th year civic celebration for Salem. So I said, let's have a cup of tea, and then little did I know that I'll get invited to that group. So thank you very much for inviting me. I learned quite a lot, and it's only based on that I learned about the curriculum and the Eagle Feather Ceremony and so many other important steps that we all can take. There were also some youth who attended, and they are youth from, we talked about indigenous tribes in Central and South America. So that kind of made me think, like my wife is also an indigenous tribe from Northeast India. So we should also find some ways to celebrate indigenous people in other countries who are here because they may not strictly find that they can meet the criteria for the federal native Indian education program, but nevertheless celebrating the heritage could be a possibility that we can all have. So thank you very much for allowing me to sit and listen and learn. Those 2 hours was probably the best 2 hours. I've learned more than I ever learned in all these years of public comment or any place because there's so much of in-depth understanding was possible from this parent committee. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Shondagiri. Director Bethel?
I don't have a report. I just want to say on the record that I really appreciate Bob Silva's participation in the recent fire emergency. It's no secret that I'm a Marion County Commissioner and was very busy over the weekend dealing with emergency management. And you never know what's going to happen into where you're going to send the number of families and animals. And Judson Middle School did a great job of housing a variety of household pets and livestock, not big livestock. We did open the fairgrounds, but they did a good job with some chickens and rabbits and a lizard.
There may have been a lizard too.
There was a lizard. It was not a small one, and we're very aware of it. We were worried it might get out. But anyway, Bob did an excellent job communicating with our emergency management team and law enforcement and keeping both, there was 2 buildings open for the entire duration of that emergency, and I am grateful for this public asset putting its best foot forward to support our community. So thank you.
I was impressed how quickly the Incident Command and REOC so very quickly worked together, and a huge shout out to Chris Baldridge and his team as well. I mean, we had one of our field coordinators on the ground and our brand new emergency manager, like maybe his 2nd day on the job, helped lead that. He was at Judson. Yeah, Juan was. So anyway, huge shout out to them.
And I heard the parent-teacher committee helped provide coffee and food for Judson, came together, which is really, really nice. So thank you to them. Want to go? Oh. Student Advisor McDonald.
I'd just like to share some quick anecdotes from the beginning of the school at West Salem High School. I will say students are very pleased with the new Chromebooks. They're kind of the hot new thing, and they're a lot better than the old ones. So a lot of students are.
So needs to hear that right now.
Yeah, it's a lot better, and they're very thankful. And then also just at my school, we're really excited to see the new construction. I think some of it's supposed to be done by the end of the month, and we're planning a club fair while everyone's flooding into the new commons, so we can get some new members and clubs and stuff. So just a lot of exciting things happening.
What about the family night?
Awesome.
Family night too, 19th at 6:30, I think, right? Time family night, show up.
First Vice Chair Hinojos Presi.
Well, first I want to know about how excited Bob was when he walked in. Did you hear about the Chromebooks? On my end, I don't have like a ton to report. I think one of the biggest highlights of the committees that I'm assigned to is that we just recently passed some new weighting criteria on the projects that we'll be selecting for SCATs. And I'm really happy to say that we were able to uplift additional safety measures whenever it comes to processing those projects and making sure that our bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure is really heavily considered in that aspect. And then other than that, I mean, my kids started kindergarten, so that's really taken up most of my brain space. So that's it for me.
Student Advisor Brennan?
So I have a pretty lengthy board report this time, unlike the last meetings when mine was either non-existent or very short. Going off of what Isaac said, I have to agree that most, if not all, students are really excited with the new Chromebooks and the fact that they have a drawing app on them and they are a touch screen, and that our artists can use digital artwork if they can't afford digital artwork for use at home. Isaac and I were able to set up a meeting and finally meet with all of the ASB presidents from the high schools. We are missing a few, and we are trying our best to get in touch with them to be able to meet with them as well. And so that went really well. I was invited to speak at an ethnic social studies conference over the summer last month. And I was asked to talk about my experience with being queer and how I would have felt of having queer studies in class. And so that really went well, and it was really nice to be heard and then to be able to hear other people's voices. Construction at Sprague is almost done. Yay! We will be happy to see them leave. We also started school. Our new Oli Day got kicked off with a hit. Most of the freshmen seemed to enjoy it, especially our brigade of clapping leadership students with a tunnel for them to go through before school started. And along with school starting, our AP classes have gotten off with a kick as well and are doing pretty good so far. We also have started senior activities. We had senior sunrise last week, which went really well, and we had donuts for all the seniors, which was great. And as you guys know, Isaac and I picked the students for the EEAC committee. I also got to attend band camp over the summer, and even though I wasn't in band camp, I got to experience band camp with my friends and see what they were working really hard towards. And then Isaac and I also got interviewed by the Statesman's Journal.
Shout out Natalie in the room.
Wow, you've been busy, Raylan. Okay. Second Vice Chair, Guzman Ortiz.
Thank you. I'll be quick. Just had an opportunity, I believe it was last week, to give some encouraging and welcoming words for the early childhood all-staff meeting, and had educators in the room who would preparing to kind of kick off the year with the youngest children in the district, I believe. So that was really, really neat to see. Also want to, second week of school, give a huge appreciation to all of our educators in the classrooms, everybody who's been helping with like the jam-packed streets and the traffic as everybody's trying to sort out where children are gonna go. Thanks for your patience while I've been maybe 10 to 15 minutes late to pick up my kid, because I'm gonna say it was I-5 traffic. And then lastly, just tonight, super, super thankful for our student advisors. It's been beautiful to be able to hear from your personal and academic school experiences, and I think it's just such an opportunity for us to continue to learn from you as students. So just huge appreciation for everything that you've shared tonight.
Thank you. So I had the opportunity to attend the recently restarted, reignited Faith Leaders group by the superintendent, and this was a few weeks ago. It was a really large turnout, diverse turnout of faith leaders across the communities. And we had a great discussion and input on a new religious content in curriculum policy that's being worked through the district, getting feedback from a number of groups, but just a really well-led meeting where everyone could have a safe space to share their thoughts, provide positive and negative feedback. It wasn't called that, it was something more beautiful than that. But I'm not the facilitator, so luckily. And then we'll be meeting again with that group, I think, in October. And more people are joining that group so that we have a really broad representation of religious leaders across Salem and Keizer participating and sharing their perspectives in our schools, with leadership of our schools. We also welcomed, I don't feel like we've talked about this yet, over 400 new staff to the district. Maybe we've had a meeting since then, but it was amazing. The entire McKay auditorium was full of brand new staff to the district, and so it was a huge privilege to go and be able to welcome them with the superintendent and her team. Awesome to have new folks coming to the district. And then a really wonderful tribal consultation occurred with Siletz on our collective plans for Indigenous Peoples Day, both this year and next year, as we figure out all the right ways to honor that day. Like Director Chandagiri, meeting with tribes and doing formal consultation is always, I learn so much every time, and it's humbling and really beautiful to hear the requests of us as leaders in a really large and powerful entity like a school district, and what we need to do to really support our Indigenous youth. And so we will continue to do that sort of consultation. And so that's my report. Anything else for the good of the order? Okay.
Can I make one
go
tiny
ahead.
comment?
Yeah. Mhm.
We've already gotten some really good feedback from our bilingual educators about how inclusive it was to have one agenda item fully done in Spanish, so thank you. It really made a difference already because we're already hearing from people, so thank you.
Oh, and one other thing, thank you to Salem-Keizer Safe Routes to Schools for this adorable thing that was left for all of the board members, art done by local youth. I don't know if any board director wants to speak to this. I wasn't part of it.
Well, as the SCATS person and the Safe Routes to School person, it was really hard to pick the artwork. We have some really talented kids in the district, and it took various rounds to pare it down to just I think 13 art pieces that made it in there. But the theme was, I think, people-powered movement, and so it was really great.
Thank you so much. All right, it is 9:18, and I will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.